you, Cindy, and welcome everyone to the High Point Community Meeting regarding stepping forward. The purpose of the meeting tonight is to try to explain the proposal so that you have a good understanding of what the Housing Authority is trying to do with its rent policy. And I'm going to continue to describe the proposal for you in this way to try and make sure that the interpreters can translate completely for the audience. The proposal is grounded in our fundamental mission statement of the Seattle Housing Authority. That mission statement has two major themes. One is to enhance the Seattle environment by providing decent, safe, affordable housing to people. But the second is to foster self-sufficiency of the individuals that we serve. And that's what this proposal is rooted in, is the intent to provide better opportunities and greater self-sufficiency for the people we serve. So we had three goals when we began to look at this proposal. The first goal was essentially to serve more people. That has been the highest priority of the Seattle Housing Authority for over a decade. The second goal was to encourage and support self-sufficiency for work-able adults. And the third was to create a rent policy that was simple and that was fair and equitable to all. And when we began to examine fair and equitable, we had to also recognize that there's a significant number of families and individuals who are not in our housing that deserve a fair and equitable chance at stable housing as well. We serve over 16,000 households at the Housing Authority currently. We also have about 9,000 people who are currently on our wait list for our public housing. And some of you may have experienced this, but it takes somewhere between 2 to 5 years before you make it through the wait list and get into our housing, into our public housing. That's an awful long time to be without stable housing. We also have housing choice vouchers that we manage. We have approximately 9,500 housing choice vouchers that we provide to residents to rent in the private market. There's a wait list for those housing choice vouchers. that wait list was closed from 2008 until 2013, which meant that no one can even apply for a housing choice voucher during that period of time. Last year, we opened up that wait list after 5 years, and we were going to create 2,000 slots for people to apply for vouchers. And for those 2,000 slots, we got 24,000 applications. So that really began to tell us that the demand for our housing was incredibly large, and we wanted to try to do something to reach and support and serve that population as well. So in looking at ways in which we could do that, we looked at a lot of different things. And we came to the conclusion that, first of all, we were going to exempt the elderly and the disabled from this proposal. So those residents who are elderly, who live in our housing today, and those residents who are disabled who live in our housing today, their rent won't change. That left a group of individuals who we believe have the greatest opportunity to become self-sufficient. And it's a group that we described as being work-able. How that's defined is someone between the ages of 24 and 61 who is not elderly and is not disabled. That's the group that this rent policy would apply to. On the screen is some general demographics of what that population looks like. The unit size that the predominant piece of this population lives in is the 2-bedroom unit. 70% of this population that's able to work lives in 2- or 3-bedroom apartments. 61% of this group are currently working, have jobs. And the average income of the group who's working is around $22,000 a year. This population stays in our housing for an average of 8 years. Although we have a little over a quarter of that population that has been in this housing for longer than 10 years. We also know that 51% of this population are single-parent households. And about a quarter of the population are immigrant and refugee households. This entire population represents about 35% of the people that we serve. They total about 4,600 households and roughly 7,100 individuals. Now, one of the questions that we have with the proposal is whether or not the definition of work able between 24 and 61 years old, whether or not definition should be expanded to include 19 to 23-year-olds. We haven't included them in the proposal because that's also prime college age for individuals. And we did not want to do anything that would detract from someone's education. On the other hand, not everyone in that group would go to college, and so how should we address that population? Thank you for your comment. But if you would be, thank you, we hear you. We hear you. There are people here who are trying to listen to the proposal. Would you please give them the respect of listening to the proposal?
Punish people that can't afford to go to college.
Yeah. So now, that's still a question for us.
I went to
the next.
Where's the job?
Thank you. We've heard your comments. We appreciate them. Please, can I ask, there will be a time during the agenda for comments to be received. Please let Andrew finish his presentation. Thank you. Please let Andrew finish his presentation so everyone in the room can benefit from hearing it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Affordable housing's under attack! What do we do? Stand up like that! What do we do? Stand up like that! What do we do? Stand up like that!
Thank you. Your comment has been noted. Please, let's have Andrew finish his presentation for the benefit of those who haven't heard it yet. We'll have a time for comment.
We win! And we fight! We win! And we fight! We win! And we fight! We win!
Thank you again. We've got your comments down. Please, let's finish the presentation. For those who haven't heard it, there'll be time later in the agenda for comments. Please. Thank you.
So here's the way the proposal is designed. The rents are based on unit size and length of time, length of stay with the housing authority. The subsidy decreases over time. The rents, however, continue to remain below market rates, less than 50% of market rate rents. So the rents will never go, and this proposal, above that. In addition, the tenants, when their incomes increase, they are able then to save the additional income and not have to apply it immediately to rent increase. Accompanying that structure for the rent is also the availability of resources for workforce assessment for the individuals who are part of the program.
Thank you again for your comments. They are being noted.
Are they really?
Yes, they are. So please, let Andrew finish his presentation for those who have not heard it yet. We will have a comment period.
So with the change in the rent structure, there's also additional workforce assessment opportunities for those individuals to identify their strengths, identify the skills that are going to be needed for higher wage jobs and support services to help individuals identify those higher wage jobs and the training necessary to get them.
Show me the job! 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 Show me the job!
Thank you, everyone.
Show me the job! Show me the job! Show me the job! Show me the job!
I think it would
Show me the job!
be my request again to please let Andrew finish his presentation so those who have not had a chance to hear it gets the benefit of this information. We will
Let's
have
summarize it. You guys need to jack up rent on the poorest people in the city and take away the hopes of the homeless.
Thank you.
We
So
could- I think we need to give everyone who has not had a chance to go to other meetings to get the benefit of all the information that Andrew has to present. Can we please let Andrew finish so everyone can hear the information that they've taken the time to come out tonight to hear, and then we will have our comment period. Thank you.
So the additional workforce assessment services are what we hope, what we believe will provide the additional support services for people to be much more competitive, gain a lot more skills that will allow them to be able to compete for the higher wage job.
That's right.
So here's how, an example of how the proposal would work for new participants, people who are not currently in our housing, who would start in the housing coming off the wait list. And I'm going to focus on the 2-bedroom column because that's the predominant number of bedrooms that we deal with. Thank you very much. We appreciate your consideration for those who haven't heard the proposal. So for the 2-bedroom, individuals who start today on our program, for example, who start the first year in the program, their rent would be $160 a month. That's roughly 10% of area median income. In year 2, it would go to $360 a month, which is roughly 20% of area median income. Now, one of the questions we have that we're trying to get feedback from is whether or not the first year should be longer than 1 year. So that's an open question for us, and we're looking for feedback from that, from this process on that question. You can also see by year 4, someone newly into the program would have to be earning about would have to pay $560 a month for rent. And then in year 6, they would have to pay about $850 a month for rent. That top tier rent of $850 is still less than half of what market rents are for that 2-bedroom.
Show me the job! 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 Show me the job!
Thank you, everyone.
Show me the job! Show me the job!
We really would like to have the meeting continue, but we won't be able to because no one's going to be able to hear.
Well, let us then.
We really, I understand one comment is that invitation to know the details. Many of you have taken the time to come to many of the meetings. We acknowledge that. But there are some who are not able to go to all of them or even another one. So it's only fair that they get the same information that others have. So let's please, can we please just try to give Andrew the opportunity to give the same information many of you have already heard, but many here may not have. Please.
We need to call it what it is. It's
So
stable
there we
housing
have,
for 6 years.
there we have.
We will have a chance to hear. We will have a chance to hear. Thank you everyone for your opinions about the policy. But all I can ask is to please, let's finish the presentation for people who are attending that have not had the benefit of hearing it.
So for the existing residents, there's not designed to be rent hikes originally. This is an example of what it would cost, what it would take to pay for the housing that we just described, the rents that we just described. For the first year of rent, a minimum wage job today, and today's minimum wage of $9.32 an hour, you would have to have a half-time job making $9.32 an hour.
Continue with the presentation. There'll be a time for comments later.
So for the second year,
questions and comments will come later in the agenda. We are trying to. We should
be a dialogue, a community dialogue.
So for the
first step
there should be a
needs.
community dialogue. We all have voices.
This first part is to get information.
We have voices.
We're having the dialogue that you're asking for is coming at the end of the presentation. To have a dialogue, we want to make sure that we have the information out so we can have the conversation about it. So the year second 2 and 3, you would someone earning $9.32 an hour for a full-time job would be able to afford the second year rent. And in the fourth year, someone making $11, $12 an hour would be able to afford the fourth year's rent. And in the sixth year, someone would be making between $16 and $19 an hour. They would be able to afford the ceiling rent. And they could earn that amount of money and stay in housing for much longer than 6 years if that's what their income was. So here's what it would mean for existing residents who are currently in the housing. So someone who is in public housing
to those who have not heard it. We will have a comment period in the agenda. We're just trying to share information with everyone. Thank you.
So those individuals who are currently in our housing, someone who is in public housing today, who's in a 3-bedroom unit, and their rent today is $440 a month. Here's how this proposal would affect them. Their rent would be frozen at $440 a month. It would not go up until it reached the step in which $440 a month was. So in this example, the rent would stay the same until year 4. So if you are currently in this situation paying $440 a month, when this proposal took effect, it would take 4 years before your rent would be effective. If you're in a housing choice voucher program and you're in a 3-bedroom unit and you are currently paying $967 a month for rent, your rent would then be frozen at that amount until year 6 when the steps caught up with you. So that would mean that your rent wouldn't change for 6 years. There are those in public housing who are paying a minimum rent today of $50 a month. And this is how that would affect that family. There's a transition year for those individuals who are paying minimum rent. So if you're currently paying $50 a month, the first year of the program, you would go to pay $80 a month. And then the next year, you would start the program with the regular step increases that are proposed.
That's a new addition, Mr. Long.
That's a description of what is currently in place for existing residents. So what we're doing here is we're trying to make sure that people have a sense of what the proposal is. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We're almost to the end of the presentation. I want to thank you for giving Andrew the time to let everyone hear his presentation. Thank you.
So what we're in the process of doing now is receiving public input from the proposal. We're trying to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to comment on the proposal, provide questions about the proposal, and hear concerns about the proposal. We will be documenting all of that, all of those comments as part of this process. And we will also process, we want to hear from folks also on what type of hardship policy should we have in place. For those situations where people have unforeseen circumstances or emergencies, how should we treat that? And we're looking for information back from people so we can design a policy with the right criteria that addresses those circumstances.
How about we scrap the whole thing?
The other thing we're doing is having a pilot for the workforce
Thank you.
So we're going to have an opportunity to hear back from people on how to design the hardship policy. We're going to initiate a pilot on the workforce assessment that we will learn the investments that we need to make to ensure that our residents are getting the type of services that they need so that they can be competitive for the jobs that are going to be opening. We will then revise the proposal based on the comments that we received.
We don't want a revision, we want it gone.
And then we'll have another public comment period on the revision. When we complete the process, we'll then be developing a final proposal that will also be shared with the public.
We the people! We the people!
So thank you for your time. We want to make sure that people who have some questions.
Ma'am, we'll go ahead and have questions later. Thank you. So just hold on until the comment period. If you could, please.
So as we move into the question and answer period.
I'm sorry, not quite yet. Okay, thank you.
Cindy's going to go through some of the ground rules for the question and answer period. But we are, if you don't have an opportunity to ask a question tonight, you can certainly, there are comment cards that you can submit. We'll explain the comment period that's going to be at the end of the presentation, at the end of the question and answers. And you can also contact us at that number to share your comments. So,
Okay, thank you. Okay, again, my name is Cindy. Hello. And what I'm going to do is, because we didn't have a sign up, I'm just going to go back and forth. I'm only going to pick 3 at a time, just so I don't forget who was selected. And we have staff who have mics, who will be going to the ones who I pointed out. And we have SHA staff here, Jenna, and she has a computer here that she'll be documenting all the comments and questions. And because we have a large group tonight, and we only have about 30 minutes, we'll have lots of time afterwards to take one-on-one questions from anyone in the group. We have lots of SHA staff people here. They're along the wall. Okay? And I'm going to try to go slow, so when you speak to, just remember that we have interpreters in the room. So we'll have the lady in the blue jacket there first. Hold on, let me pick the 3, okay? And then we'll pick the gentleman here with the gray sweatshirt. And then, should I pick you? Okay, the gentleman with the checker shirt. Okay, so because we only have 30 minutes though, please try to keep your comments so other people have a chance. So maybe 1 to 2 minutes, okay? Thank you.
So my question is, this is clearly a plan that shows low-income people how they're going to be accountable, all right? Where is the plan that holds developers accountable, creating more low-income housing that people can truly afford? They're tearing down housing at Yesler Terrace, and the only people who get to live there are people who meet 60% of the average rent in the city. That is not low-income, and they're tearing housing down that is.
For information more about what's going on at Yesler, make sure we can talk, okay? The gentleman there.
I am 65 and disabled, so this will not affect me. But I'm concerned that it will affect other people because I have 20 and a half years of education. And for the last 15 years of my work life, I was a temporary worker experiencing long periods of unemployment. I don't think your workforce training program is sufficient. It's like an employment program for employment consultants. And it's not really going to solve the problem.
So I just want to clarify for tonight, the change is that we're not giving responses directly to the comments or questions that are being received tonight. We're documenting them, and at the one-on-one time, all of SHA staff will be here, including Andrew. You can ask any individual questions you have.
What's the point if you're not going to address the question? The point is to humor us. That's what the point is. Humor is everything.
The point is that we're going to record all your comments and your questions.
Oh, you're right. Please address these questions.
Go ahead.
Do you care? Stand up and talk to the people. Stand up.
Staff will be available afterwards. There are a lot of SHA staff people here.
Go ahead.
So this gentleman here who is looking intently at me, wanting to have his moment at the mic. So.
Yes, my name is Abdullah Abdullah, and I live in your corporation. And I'm really against
Motivating the employers to hire people. That's right.
Yeah.
Who's hiring me? Give me a job, please.
I will put you down as next to speak, but please let this man have his time at the mic. So the gentleman in the center.
Okay, I really have some question for straight out to Andrew. Andrew, you said we can have jobs, and you keep repeating at the workforce center. Where was workforce center under the job when I was looking for 3 years and a half, which are looking for jobs? And nobody's hiring. Workforce center is wasting of time, and the plan you have, just to put it back in your pocket and get out of here. That's what I'm telling you. Thank you.
Okay, so the lady in the back, and then this gentleman with the shirt here, and then someone from the back. Who could we pick? Okay, the lady with the blue hat. It's the lady here, this gentleman here with the white shirt right there, and then the lady with the blue hat. Hold on, I'm just going to pick 3 at a time just so I don't lose track. So the lady in the back, the one with the black sweater.
Don't believe that these people are unmotivated to go out and find jobs. I spent 12 years in the military. I am a highly motivated person. I went to war for you people, and I came back, and I can't get a job. And I can hardly afford to survive. This is a death sentence to people. So who is motivating the employers to hire? You know, if you want to motivate me to get a job, motivate the employers to hire me.
Okay, this gentleman here.
Thank you very much. We have been talking and talking and talking endless for the last public hearing. They are not answering our question, and nobody's listening to us whatever we say. Whatever we say, it doesn't make any sense to them. So what we do is, we will walk out from this building and let them go. Let's go. Let's go. Everyone should go out. Everybody should go out, and we will meet outside because SHA is disrespecting us. We are sitting here. They are not listening to us. This is an insult.
Please be sure to drop it off to an SHA employee. Those are very important for us to use when we translate with our residents. If any employee can accept it, but please leave them so we have it for future meetings for our residents. It's very important for us when we translate.
People are saying that there are no jobs. Let me tell you something. Some people didn't walk.
Can you put the mic
Some
on?
people are living paying $50 a month. I can understand some people who have had jobs and have been laid off. I don't make $20 an hour, but I do make a nice minimum wage job that's a little over the minimum wage. My husband and I, my husband is disabled. We pay over $1,000 and some a month in rent where we live at. I tell you just like that. And pay our water, storage, and garbage. If you want to, the government is tired. It ain't just these people, it's the government is tired of paying housing for people that have lived off of us, that have lived here prior, that have lived off of us for $50 and paying $100 in rent. That's not fair to us. Yes, Boeing has laid off. If you want a job, you can be a caregiver, you can go clean a bathroom, janitor, they have to do a background check. For one thing, you have to get your green card and everything else. You have some people that are in the same country that you are from, Somalia or wherever, or Ethiopia, that has jobs up here in High Point, that has jobs in the hospitals and stuff. You know, I can keep hearing everybody talk about Section 8. I ain't never paid $50. I ain't never paid $100. But I work every day. I work every day. And the thing about it is that when they look at everybody's having brand new minivans, brand new cars, the government is tired. What about if we didn't have Section 8? What about if we didn't have Seattle housing or any low income thing? What would everybody do then? So you can't blame the system because that's how the system's going to be. You can't blame these folks for doing their job. They're just repeating what the government's telling them to do. So, and then the ones that has all these other jobs, a lot of us have worked and been laid off. But there's always something else. It could be a stay-at-home mom, but now it's time to do something else. See what I'm saying? You should teach them how to speak. You have to learn how to speak English. You got to learn how to live in the American way. That's the way I can do that.
We appreciate your comment. So,
back in the 70s, I'm telling you, I'm not from Seattle, Washington. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. A lot of people lived off the system. They were Polish, Puerto Rican, and a lot of people don't. And I understand that. But
so maybe we could have a conversation.
No, that's a different conversation with two people. And you just
Okay.
Yes. So, first of all,
I'm going to just shoot bits and pieces of it.
we don't need, HSA does not need to increase rent for people to become self-sufficient. You don't need to make people pay more money in order to become self-sufficient, right? So the easiest way you can do is, first of all, make sure that provide all the things that you're talking about right now, that is trainings, do it upfront. As soon as you train the people, as soon as they get a job and you give them a job, they automatically pay the normal rent. Is that right? So you don't need to increase the rent right now to make people become self-sufficient. Rather, you make people self-sufficient and then they will get away from the system that's making them right now to pay less money, right? And the other thing is that we know right now people of color, black people, when it comes to unemployment is high. It's more than 50%. What plan do you have to ensure that will make jobs available for these people? No plan. So you are just talking about increasing money with no plan that ensures people to get to a high-paying job. The other thing is that you say in 5 years people will have a job that's going to pay $20. Where will you get from? Somebody that does not even have a basic education? How are you going to make? What kind of masters are you going to provide in 5 years to make people get more than $20 an hour? So your plan is completely irresponsible and it's impossible. So please make people self-sufficient and then they're going to end up paying money, the normal rent. Thank you.
Thank you. So, can we have someone back here? Just a minute. Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah, just make like this. Okay, my name is Amber. I live in a neighborhood house, High Point. So I have 5 kids, and I love to work and support myself. However, what kind of guarantee do I give by working if anything happens? Who will take over on the rent, or according to your plan, who's going to take over if anything happens? And then the second question is, what's the question mark at the end of the presentation that you have? So it's not clear. So can you repeat that last one? The question mark under the presentation that you were about the rental. So the last line, it's not clear, so can you elaborate it? So right now we're not answering specific questions, but there are a lot of people along the wall here who can go over that presentation with you and even answer that first question you had about what happens if you lose your job. So please hook up with a SHA staff person. Okay, so who was, is there anyone, okay, this gentleman, and then we'll do this gentleman up here, and then we'll do the gentleman that's sitting down. Thank you. And then you'll be next, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, excuse me, I was disappointed to understand that you all were not answering questions. That's kind of ridiculous in the sense that you're announcing this news. Also, in the realm of ridiculousness, we hear about this $12 million deficit that SHA is experiencing on the federal level. At the same time, we see SHA partnering with JP Chase, who in turn has extracted over $13 billion from the economy. At the same time, SHA is partnering with these people, and they are instrumental in asking at the behest of themselves for stepping forward to take place or be implemented on us. It's ridiculous for you to sit here and say that the people of Seattle have to step forward, be self-sufficient. At the same time, you are in company with the biggest welfare recipient in the history of mankind. You stand here in front of the people as if you represent the people or represent the interests of the people, when in essence, you're just puppets for the bank. Why don't you keep it real? What we're going to have to do as a people is join together and bring these people in front of a federal magistrate and get them to stage an injunction against this. Because all it is corporate profiteering and public funds being directed into private hands. We've had enough of JP Morgan Chase. We've had enough of this. We don't need any more. Thank you.
Thank you. So it's this gentleman up front. Gentleman right here, and then the lady right here with the cap.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. I live in this Saturday, especially an iPod, almost quarter of a century. When I came from a black big continent, I tried the best I could, a large family. I didn't want to be burden on welfare people and changing, no. And then, automatically, I started going to Green River Community College by talking with counselors and others. I spent 2.5 years there. I got everything they need from me for their employment. But the business or the job which was offering was in the city of Seattle, in King County, another water department. The time I came started. Then, after I passed the requirement from the state, I started searching for a job. I tried the best I could, applied everywhere. In the city of Seattle, in King County, in the King County, only the department of King County in down Seattle area. In the other water department, Amburian individuals on east side, Kirkland, Bellevue, on the other side, Linwood. I tried the best everything I could. What one guy said to me, on the left, would you please try? No. While I was on vacation, Shoreline Water District gave me a chance for 3 months as a contract. I did it. When on the last, when my contract is over, I started looking. I got one guy who came from Florida. At the bar I met him. We started talking my background and everything. Then at that time Seattle was there. I was very terrible. He said the best thing is try to find CDL. And then I paid, the state paid me half for the training of the truck for CDL. The rest I paid it. Then it became again hard to get a job. Hard. I don't know. I look myself, what kind of color I am. Well, the guy who came from Florida said to me, are you a ghetto system trained? What? You guys know what I'm talking about. Politics is dirty. And then I choose to raise my children. I have big family to raise my children. Okay, I will show you. Then I tried the best I could. Do you know the ghetto system? He said to me, and then started investigating. The conscious level of politically, most of the people. Do you guys who are attending or leading the country, how I don't understand when some kind of community or meeting like that, you are pushing people, but you have no relationship with the employers. The employers have the power to do. So I chose to raise my children being taxi driver. And I raised them, unfortunately. The kids is a high quality product I call them. You know what I'm talking about when I say high quality product? That means mostly they start saying, this is America. This is America. I don't understand that word. Even most of Americans, I don't think they understand this is America. I'm not debating about so, interruption is no good. So, anyhow, finally I raised them. They said, this is America. But I think most of Americans who are here right now, I don't think most of you can explain to me the word, this is America. Thank you very much. I finally ended in stroke. We can living in hypothesis.
Thank you. So we're going to have two more because it's 7 o'clock. This gentleman here and then the lady with the cap. And then again, I encourage you, please stay. We have a lot of staff here that's ready to answer your questions.
Yes, my name is Steve. And I came here expecting to learn something about Seattle Housing Authority with your rent increase. And we were rudely interrupted with the chants. And I didn't get to go through to listen to, and it was just so disturbing to me. But at the same token, as I listened, the questions aren't still being answered. And that's not fair to me as a citizen, as a living in this community. I get what they're saying now. But at the same token, I get what's going on here too. So, when we have these public, that's why I don't like coming to these public things. Because it's not fair to us when a question is asked. You guys should be ready to ask the question and just set the terms, and that's not fair. It's not fair. That's why everyone is so angry. Now, on the other hand, I agree with some of the increase goals too. I work hard, and I get $9.32 an hour, but I work part-time. I'm disabled. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to live. And I know most of the people that live in this community or try to work too that can, but at the same time, there are people that are breaking some of the tenant laws. And I'm like, that's not fair to the people that pay rent. Most people that have 6 and 7 kids and keep having kids, knowing that, I get a 5-bedroom now. I want my 5-bedroom. That's not fair. I think that's the same token that we should, as people, should be as one and fight for what we want. I fight every day for what I want. Every morning I have to get up and go to work, and I'm sick. I have neuropathy in my feet, and I go to work because I know I have to survive. And it's sad that when people have gotten conditioned to the point that they expect for the state to take care of them. Continue to take care of them. And I can kind of understand the plan from 1 year to 7 years. That gives people enough chance to say, okay, my rent's going to be increased. Maybe I'll find a job. If I had to take a McDonald's job, I would. If I had to go to wherever, I would go. But that's what I'm saying. I say the same thing to anybody. If people tell me I can, I go and do it. I go find me a job. I'm not going to just say, yes, I'm very serious. If you really want a job, and I'm going back to school to get my education. To finish it doesn't matter. You know what? Stop. You know what? I didn't interrupt you when you were talking about your service. You're rude. It is not fair. That's what I'm talking about. It's not fair. That's not fair for people to come here. I don't care. It's not fair for you to interrupt people. That's why you don't have a job, because you're rude. If you change your attitude, then you get somewhere. Okay? That's why you don't have a job. I'm a professor. You're rude.
Time out. This isn't here to do debate. Please let the gentleman have his... Okay, so we're changing the mic now. We have this lady here with the cap. Thank you.
Now, my thing is, I get what he's saying. Now, we may work at McDonald's, but in 6 years, are we going to make enough to pay what you guys want us to pay? Do you understand? My thing is, fine, I work too, okay? But in 6 years, am I going to get a raise enough to pay? Which is $850 plus or whatever it is? Am I going to be able to pay? Now, if I'm not able to pay this, then I'm out. Now, once I'm out, then what I do? Do you understand? Do I live under the bridge with everybody else in a tent? And be homeless with my kids? Because I can't afford it. I'm working. But I'm working. That's the key. Okay? Now, granted, yes, people may not have a job. I understand that. Been there, done that. But if you're only making $10, $9, you think in 6 years you're going to be able to pay this $850, $1,000? It's not going to happen. So I'm trying to figure out, what are you guys going to do once you start to kick out everybody that can't afford to pay this rent in 6 years? It's a lot of people that's still going to be in the same situation. You're only going to make matters worse. You're going to have more homeless people than you're going to have people in homes. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so I would encourage you to just grab any SHA employee to talk about the question that Andrew presented about hardship and your thoughts about those circumstances that you were talking about, because the goal is not to kick people out. So I do want to thank everyone who stayed and didn't leave. We appreciate you being here. And now's the time for you to find any SHA employee. They have name badges and Ask Me buttons. And they can answer those specific questions that you may have about your certain circumstances, or if you have strong opinions about changes that we need to think about in the policy. Thank you everyone for coming out.